Many horrible things happened in the medieval times.
Torture was one of them.
It had some of the most horrible torture methods that we know of.
One method was called the style torture.
The victim was hung upside down so all the blood would rush to his head and keep them conscious during the torture. The torturer would then completely saw their body in half.
Another was the chair of torture. The victim would be placed on the chair and tied down. It sounds harmless, but it was much worse.
Every part of the chair was covered in spikes, including the handles that tied down the victim. The victim would then be left to die, the spikes piercing his body and slowly killing him.
Victims would often confess after being forced to watch other prisoners tortured.
There was also the coffin torture. Victims would be placed in a cage or coffin and be left there with no food or water, slowly dying in pain.
The rack was a torture device that consisted of an oblong rectangular, usually wooden frame slightly raised from the ground. A roller was at one or both ends, with one end tied to a fixed bar, which the legs were fastened on, and the other were a movable bar, which the hands were tied.
Another method was the drowning. The victim will be tied above a rotting river and fruit would be placed in their mouth and nose beforehand so they can't take a breath. If the victim confessed on something, they would most likely be killed. If not, the rope would be cut and they would fall into the river, going downstream and dying from lack of air or hitting rocks.
Thank you.